universe at hello online world! Ako po si Alamat Esconde na makakasama nyo sa masayang buhay. Ito ang AY-TARAAY!
AY-TARAAY!
And welcome back mga kataray. So yun na nga, nakita na natin kung sino yung ating top 5. At syempre sa pipiliin natin Millennial Adonis. Kasi ito ba kayo, meron silang statement at ang kanilang question and answer. Yung isa lang ang ating question and answer para malaman natin kung sino ang ating first ever Millennial Adonis 2020. Kaya na sila! Let's go!
Since the theme of Millennial Adonis is about being a Filipino man, what do you think it entails or what do you think it means to be a Filipino man?
As Filipinos, we are known to be God-fearing and resilient in everything we do. What entails me of being a real Filipino man is that I am patriotic and dedicated with my utmost, with such unconditional care and love for my fellow countrymen. Makes me feel happy. My desire of being at service with other people and to help them to the best that I can is the real essence of being a Filipino.
Filipino men evolve all throughout the times. For my own perception, Filipino man is someone who deeply understands his role inside the family, being a father, a son, or an uncle. He is someone who stands to his obligation in the community, being an example of strong figure who respect everyone regardless of their gender identity or preferences. More importantly, Filipino man is a figure of evolution. He was then simple and brave, and now he became a poster of strength, adaptation, and provisionary visions and ideas. Above all this reform and development, Filipino man remains to be an example of gentleness, stalwart values, and Filipino ideals and principles.
There's one word to describe being a real Filipino man, and that is being madiscarte, because I strongly believe that being clever is skillfully in adapting in order to achieve goals in life, which entails to be a real Filipino man. I'm a clever person and I definitely embody the traits of being a real Filipino man. Thank you.
The theme of Millennial
born in the Philippines or has a blood from his Filipino parents. But a true Filipino man is someone who has love for his land, culture, arts, and for the community. And also he is proud for his nationality, where he came from, and being who he is. And I, Paul Cervantes, a proud and true Filipino man.
Dahil na nga mga kataray, ang ating mga top 5 o ang ating top 5 sa kanilang mga statement. Siyempre, hindi mawawala ang ating criteria for judging. Siyempre, yung being top 5, each one will be contender for each one. So, lahat sila magkakalaban para mapili natin ang first ever Millennial Adonis 2020. Yung score nila ay back to 0. So, ibig sabihin, wala na po yung mga dating score nila, back to 0 tayo. Pati yung mga YouTube na comment, voting, back to 0 na po tayo. And, equal voting po tayo. And yung step natin, yung to be true yourself is the best. To be true yourself the best. Ano ba? Ito yung mga pasilog. Basta back to 0 sila. And now yung Millennial Adonis 2020 natin, yung magigiting na Ginoo sa panahon ng pandemya is looking for a Filipino man who will pure heart to serve his community. Ibig sabihin, pag naging Millennial Adonis 2020 ka, magiging kagawad ka. Ay, hindi ka. Hindi pala magiging kagawad. Hindi, magiging kumbaga, ambassador ng ating AY-TARAAY. Ayan. Siyempre, makikita natin dito yung physical, functional, intellectual, at yung interpersonal, at saka yung Nobel. Tama ba? Nobel ba? Ayan. Siyempre, meron tayong 5 finalists. Meron tayong judging para sa 90%. So, yun na nga, meron tayong 5 finalists na sila. Ben Branham, si Paul, si Jeffrey Larino, si Jay Tamayo, at saka si Julio. So, sila yun. Nakita na natin yung kanilang mga statement at kanilang mga answer. So, malalaman dito yan sa judges natin sa 90%. Ito yung interview, makakakuha sila ng 60% at meron silang statement na makakakuha sila ng 20%. At yung confidence, posture, yung Adonis na being total na Adonis is makakakuha sila ng 20% with a total of 100%. At yung 10% na matitira is yun yung tinatawag natin sa YouTube voting. Comment lang. So, dapat nakapag-subscribe sila sa akin para maging valid ang kanilang gusto. Kahit sino yung kaibigan. Okay? And ready na ba tayo? Okay ba tayo sa judging? Ha? Sagot? Wala pala sa sagot. Dito pala tayo ngayon sa Mozilla! So, yun na nga. Ready na tayo para sa ating top 5. Let's go!
Good day to all. Magic 5 Millennial Adonis 2020. Congratulations! And you are now on the final question and answer stage. And this is the question. The final Magic 5 Millennial Adonis 2020 question. As the Millennial Adonis of today, under pandemic, what do you think is the best lesson you can share and teach the young generation for them to become a responsible citizen? Bilang isang Millennial Adonis ngayon sa panahon ng pandemya, ano sa palagay mo ang pinakamagandang aral na pwede mo ibahagi o ituro sa mga kabataan ngayon na maaaring tularan o gawin nila para maging isang responsableng mamamayan? The rule of this question and answer portion is maaari kayong sumagot in English or Tagalog or maaari nyo sagutin ng Taglish. Ngunit, bawat isang finalist magbibigay lamang ng one best lesson o isang pinakamagandang aral na pwede nyong ibahagi sa iyong sagot.
A lesson that I can teach the young generation
As the millennial Adonis today under pandemic, the best lesson that I can share to the young generation is to become disciplined at all times. The death of millions of people is due to the ravaging effect of this virus. Imagine, in the first month of this pandemic, thousands of people died. They are our parents, our grandparents, our siblings. They are the newborn babies, and more than that, our frontliners who choose to sacrifice their own lives to save another's life. We are living in fear, fighting for the unseen monster, but we created our own fear and problems. This virus is widely spread because of our carelessness, unprepared measures of the government, and more than that is we don't have discipline. If only we learn to listen, we learn to cooperate, we learn to be disciplined, and most of all, we learn to respect all living things, this virus will not exist and ends an innocent life. This gave us an idea that we are all connected to each other. If we do wrong and become irresponsible, we will might harm thousands. But we can change this. We can still end this pandemic, and we should start it within ourselves. To the young generation, don't be like us. Be better than us. We are rooting and hoping for the better world with you.
Gabriel, Sir Direk, pasok na Direk. So, nandito din si ang aking tatay-tatayan, si Direk, yan si Sir Baez. And of course, si ang aking kaibigan si Owen Acosta, si Ruel, syempre nandyan din, si Sir Ali Moralos, maraming salamat, Mr. Bernardo Vidal, at Chief ang ating Chief Judge na si Sir Eric Schmisser. Yan. At syempre, yung mga sponsor na, after the charges ng mga sponsor tayo. So, yung sponsor natin para sa fourth runner-up na si Mr. Julius Espinosa. At syempre, yung third runner-up natin si Yao. Ang second runner-up natin si Sir Rani Pasanta. And of course, ang ating first runner-up na si Ruel. At yung title natin, AY-TARAAY. Yan, yung best festival designer natin. Pasalamatan din natin si Sir Ducel. Marami tayong papasalamatan. Nandito pa ang ating mga kaibigan. Kung maraming mga ipa. Siyempre, hindi tayo may isa. So, siyempre, ipapasalamatan natin ang mga sponsor. Nandito din si Sir Owen, si Bernardo Vidal, si Rosh, maraming salamat. Si Anne Jampia, si Tots ng online shop, maraming salamat. Si Paulo Luca, si Adam Lloyd Tagada, maraming salamat din yan. At siyempre, yung mga hindi ka nakapagpili na pagbigay na sponsor natin. Maraming salamat din sa Wigatsa. At siyempre, yung Kusina Flash Guest, maraming salamat. Yung Fitness 101 natin na kay Julius Espinosa, mag-subscribe na po sa Fitness 101. Si Direct Bon, maraming salamat. Of course, ang ating kay Richard Badona, maraming salamat. Kay Bruno Cinco from Ancobar, maraming salamat din. And of course, kay Ian Tay, Lobio, maraming salamat din from Ancobar. So lahat na maraming salamat. Sino pa papasalamat natin? Let's go na, sino pa? Grind. Ayun yung grind pala, nakalimutan ko yung grind na. Let's go.
Thank you for letting me have this opportunity in order to reach the top 5. So my answer is, as a millennial Adonis of today, I believe that the best lesson that I could share and teach the young generation of today in order to become responsible citizens is to have one's integrity intact. We can observe that during this time of pandemic that it has confronted us with so many negativities like having economic crisis and social political differences among others. With integrity, one is not afraid to speak for what is true and just. With integrity, one will think of doing the right thing despite of being surrounded by many wrongdoings. Upholding integrity leads to upholding a sense of responsibility in one's words, thoughts, and actions for the common good. And I believe that this is the best lesson that I could share and teach the younger generation of today in order to become much responsible citizens, especially during this time of pandemic. Thank you.
Bilang isang millennial Adonis ngayon sa panahon ng pandemya, ano sa palagay mo ang pinakamagandang aral na pwede mo ibahagi o ituro sa mga kabataan ngayon na maaaring tularan o gawin nila para maging isang responsabling mamamayan?
There's a lot of things I've learned during pandemic. Mas naging open arm ako sa pagbibigay o paghahatid ng tulong sa ating mga mamamayan at ating kabarangay. Mas nagkaroon ako ng oras sa aking pamilya na hindi ko nabibigay noon dahil sa aking trabaho. Mas naging aware ako sa aking kalusugan, lalong-lalo na sa kalusugan ng pamilya. Pandemic makes me realize na maikli lang ang buhay ng tao, kaya kailangan nating pahalagahan ito. Matutong rumispeto, makipagkapwa-tao, at matutong magbahagi sa ating kapwa, lalong-lalo na sa mga ganitong sitwasyon. Ang mga natutunan ko during pandemic ay nagpapatunay lamang na ang mga Pilipino ay hindi basta-basta. Ang mga Pilipino ay may angking kapusilakan, katapangan at pagtutulungan. Kaya naman masasabi ko na pandemic lang kayo, Pilipino kami.
Being a responsible person doesn't mean that you are just capable to do things properly or performing a task well perfectly. But keep in mind that we can also be responsible by knowing what is right and having the willingness to do something not just for themselves but also for others. So rise up, let's help each other because together we can make it.
So yun na nga, nangyari na nga ang ating mga judges at mga pinasalamatan natin ng mga sponsors at syempre ang ating top 5. Tingnan na natin kung sino mananalo. Excited ka na ba sa first ever Millennial Adonis 2020? Ako excited na. Let's go!
Ay, taray!